Hey, it's Kevin DeWitt here. Welcome back to the Mixing in a Home Music Studio course. In this video, we're going to talk about getting our song ready for mastering. So firstly, if you are new to my channel and new to my videos and you like what you see, click the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell to be notified of all my future videos. So getting our song ready for mastering. So we are done. Our song is complete. We are mixed. It is sounding fantastic. I would be at this stage happy to release my song to the public. I would not be embarrassed about anything. I feel confident that it's going to sound great anyway. The only thing that may be lacking with mine is that last tiny little bit of polish and that last bit of, volume increase, right? Because when I mix, I don't mix at massively loud volumes, okay? So that would be the only thing that should be lacking. And even that final polish is not necessarily needs to be there, right? It is just something we do as a final check, as a final this, that's what I refer to as mastering. We want to get our song ready for it, okay? So let's assume that we're going to go to a mastering process. Now, you may be somebody that likes to do everything in your mix, right? You mix, you master, the whole works, record, everything is in the same project, same thing. For me, because I've worked with clients, etc., sometimes I just do mastering for clients before. Sometimes I would do mixing and mastering. And even with my own material, I would record, mix, and master my own songs. Okay. But for me to clearly separate each of those tasks out, I would do them separately, right? I would create separate projects. I would do all my recording in a project, then I would output all the files ready to go to mixing. And then I would come back at some other stage and I would load all those files in and act like I'm working on a client song, and I would load all those files up and I would then mix it. I would then output them ready for mastering. I'd come back and I'd load them into either another piece of software or the same piece of software as a new project, and I would master the song. And then I would basically done, it's released. The reason is for me is just keeping each of those processes separate. It helps my brain separate from mixing to mastering, right? Because one common thing they say is you shouldn't master your own mixes. But while that is fairly true a lot of the times, I feel you can do it, but I do agree that you should at least try to create a separation so that you do act like you are a separate mastering engineer to a mixing engineer, and you don't blur the two elements together. It's very easy when you say start mastering to just go back and tweak things in the mix. I don't want to do that, right? My mix is my mix, that's it, it's locked in, I'm not changing it. So for that sake, when I go to mastering, the mix is done, it's locked in, I want it output so that I can't adjust it. And that's what we're going to do, right? So I'm going to take my song and I'm going to bounce it out to a single stereo file that I would basically give to a mastering engineer, or I will master myself at some other point in time. So let's get into it and I'll show you how I do that. Okay, so we're going to get our song ready for mastering, and the first thing I'm going to do is just check that we've got everything unmuted the way we want, whatever. It's got to be exactly the way we want it. Now, in my case here, we'd probably, if I was going to keep the vocal one and the electric guitar one, lead guitar, we'll probably have to do two versions. But what we want to do first is I just want to set the in and out of this exactly where I want the start of the song. Now, I don't know if we're going to leave a gap. Maybe a little bit. Let's just... No, we don't need to because it's already got one. Yeah, so we're going to go from there. So I'm going to grab this marker here. Oh, not that one. This one. And I'm going to drag it. Let's get it locking to the grid before I do that. Right, so I've got this marker called entire song. I'm going to get that to lock to to my start point. All right, and then we're going to go to the end. Now I just want to have a look at where the actual audio stops, but I want to account for any trails of reverb. So there's no harm in leaving a little bit extra if you want to be sure when you know, because the mastering engineer or yourself can trim it later during mastering. But if you're pretty confident there's nothing there, you can even look at your meter. See, I would probably bring that out. Just make sure it's entirely faded away. Yeah, look, you know, I think I'd go there. Then I'll double click on it and then I'll set my range to be from here to the end. All right, everything's good. I'm happy with it. Just be 100% sure that you've got everything done the way you wanted to. And then we're going to come up here. I'm going to go export audio mix down. So now we can set our name, whatever you want it to be. All right. Get your folder. In the case here, I store them in a folder called pre-mastering bounces, just so I know that they're, you know, they're mixes that I bounced out, they're ready for mastering sort of thing. Now, obviously before, when I was doing my listing, taking it to my car, etc., and other systems, I was bouncing out as MP3. Now I want to switch over to a lossless version, so I'm going to go with WAV. My song was 44.1 and I want to leave it at 24-bit, which is what I had. I don't really bother setting any of these other settings, interleaved or anything like that. You can keep the sample rate at whatever sample rate you mixed at. If you mixed at 48K or 96 or 192, leave it at that. You want to give it to the mastering engineer in the best format you've got, right? They will then bounce it down to 16-bit for CD or even to MP3s if they want to do that, right? They will do that to get the best quality. Now that person could be you, right? So, but even if it's me that's mastering my own song, I know a lot of people, it's tempting to do mastering in the actual song here and just start adding processing on the mix bus and everything else. I prefer not to do that. We've got a lot of plugins in this mix and everything else, and mastering plugins can be very demanding. So what I like to do is exactly this. I will take my mix and I'll bounce it out. I am not going to change the mix now unless I get into mastering and I go, what the hell was I thinking? I need to go back to the mix. Assuming I'm not going to do that, I am going to take away the temptation of doing any mixing changes by bouncing it out. I am then going to bring it into my mastering software, which could be Cubase, it could be the same thing. And I'll bring it in as a single WAV file, and then I will start doing mastering on it as a separate process, right? So that's a totally different topic though. What we're talking about now is just getting it ready for mastering, whether that's you or that you're sending it off to a mastering engineer. This is what we want to do. As I said, pick your range, make sure it's your output. Make sure you have no funny processing on there. If you use any sort of room correction tools, anything like that, make sure they are turned off before you bounce this out. You know, make sure tracks are unmuted, all that sort of stuff. Set it to a lossless format and have a location and then export. And we wait. And then the song will come out ready to go to the mastering engineer. So if you were doing multiple versions like I am, I would then come in here and I would make whatever changes I need to do. So in my case, I am going to mute all the lead guitars. And then I would unmute the box tracks. I would probably advise that you make sure that it actually sounds right. Now, I just actually realized that I muted too many of the lead guitar parts because we didn't sing for the entire song. So what I'm looking for is probably that one. Even then, that's technically too much. So we need to do this one a bit different. Because the vocals only kick in there. So really, what I should do is I wish that wasn't on the grid then. Yeah, what I should do is that and put a little fade there. Okay, and then I would mute. Would I mute the whole part? Yes, I would. So I would then mute that, and then let's just zoom out so I can see what I'm doing. The other vocal parts there and there, which is it is 4, and that one, it is not that one. And it's not that one. Okay, so we should have a lead part. Yeah. Now, if we were singing all the way through, it'd be different. Okay, so it sounds like what I'd expect. As I said, it would probably be simpler if I sang all the way through, but we didn't do that. So I'm just going to jump now to F12. And what we might do is just give it a slightly different name, like put Vox on the end or something like that. But let's just export it now. And there you go. That's it. Send the 2 songs off to your mastering engineer and get them to master it, and you're off to the races. Or, as I said, if you're doing your own mastering, then just import it into a new mastering project yourself, do the mastering, and bang, you're done. Don't have to worry about all of this automation, plugins, all of that sort of stuff while you're mastering. You just got a clean audio file. It sounds exactly the way you want it to sound, and you're all good to go. So there you go. That is how I get my mix ready for mastering. Let me know what you think of it in the comments. Let me know if there's anything I didn't explain properly there, or you want a clarification. If you have questions about how you do things, or you want to share how you do it, and just talk to me about it, or even validate that process or whatever else, feel free to put it in the comments. I do read them all, and I will answer as many as I possibly can as quickly as I can. So at this stage of the course, obviously, that's pretty much it. There's nothing else to really talk about in this course, right? We've got our song, it's mixed, it's output, it's ready for mastering, it's ready for the next step, the mastering process, right? So we have completed, we've finished. The mix is done. So, so that basically is the end of the course. So I hope that you have learnt a lot from this course. I hope that I've explained things, thoroughly good enough, and you're able to now go away and mix your song and mix many songs for the future, and you've learnt lots of techniques, and you can take those techniques and learn more techniques and learn more and more and more, right? This is not the end of the step. If you're serious about mixing, it's a never-ending process of learning, okay? It's just forever changing, forever learning. There's so much to learn, okay? But hopefully I've given you enough of the fundamental stuff and the normal concepts, etc., and some of the not normal concepts as well as we go, and shown you in real life me mixing my song, so that you fully understand it and you can go away and mix your song, as I said. So I really do appreciate you watching the course. Hopefully you did enjoy it and got a lot out of it, and you've learnt a lot, and it was at a standard that you were happy with. Let me know anything in the comments. You can provide feedback, whether that's useful criticism or positive feedback. I'm happy to entertain all of them, because I want to obviously improve things as we go. If there's anything that wasn't clear or you thought I missed or could be added to the course, please let me know as well, because we can add them in subsequent videos, maybe further down the track if I agree with what you're saying. But I really do appreciate everybody's support, and I appreciate everybody that has watched this course. It takes a lot of time and a lot of effort to create these courses, and I'm hoping that the results are there, and that you did get a lot out of it, and it was useful and good quality. But do let me know. But if you have any questions at all about the course or the mixing or anything like that, do put them in the comments. As I said, I do read them all, and I will answer as many as I can, as quickly as I can. Hopefully I'll answer them all if I can. And hopefully you got a lot out of it. So I really do appreciate everybody watching, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. So yeah, I thank you for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video, and hopefully you've enjoyed the entire course. I thank you for watching, and I will catch you hopefully in the next course.